Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ultra Running Magazine podcast. We have a woo-wee special one for you with our publisher Jamil Curry and editor-in-chief Amy Clark. Guys, how you doing together? Holy moly, what's going on?
Crazy, right?
Yeah,
Doing
Hey,
great.
Scotty.
Very excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here, the both of you, to talk about this awesome issue that I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a very long time because we're talking about aging and ultra running. I'm in the Bonafide Over 50 Club, and so I know I have a lot of friends who kind of came up with the sport that are wondering, what do I need to do to keep going? So let's get into it. Amy, Jamil, what's the issue?
Yeah, I'll take a stab at this. We have had numerous requests year after year in our survey for folks just wanting to know more about how to continue in the sport as they get older. So this is our issue. This is it. This is the one. We have some great content, a couple features, including the secret to longevity in ultra running. We've got a nice feature by John Trent, who is also an aging ultra runner and has gone recently through an injury and kind of talks about how he's getting back to the sport as he heals. Um, yeah, and then we've got Coop, who always hits the nail on the head with his faster at 50 feature, which is awesome. He always has some great advice to give to our readers. So yeah, Jamil, did you find anything that you want to talk about in the issue?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there is just some great articles. I mean, Buzz Burrell as well, like still continuing to excel at his age in his 70s.
Definitely. Yeah.
He's such a staple in the sport. And, I think some of his findings is that, sometimes there's not even age groups for the categories he's in, but he's still competitive with athletes in their 50s and 60s all the way into his 70s, which I think is amazing.
It is.
One of my biggest takeaways that resonated with me was in the article by Dr. Nick Tiller talking about why nagging injuries disappear at mile 50. And this is something he does say a lot of this can be anecdotal, but I've felt this way many times where I've had some sort of an injury. It feels like an injury going into an ultra,
Yeah.
and then say 50 after a 50 miler or 50 miles into a 100 miler, for some reason that's just gone.
Yeah.
And why is that? And he goes into it here. And one of the quotes in here is, by magic, it disappeared as if the strain had finally admitted defeat and packed up its toys. And I don't know if for any of you, readers or listeners out there have resonated with that, but it certainly is true for me. Like, I've gone in injured and gone out non-injured
Right.
from a race, which is bizarre.
It is. And he has a good answer for it too. I mean, it definitely makes sense based on his you know, studies and research that he's done. Yeah, definitely. That was it. He had some good answers to some of the questions that you guys sent us. So keep sending us questions for sure, because he is always up for answering them. Max King wrote about grinding away and all of the people in the sport that encourage him to keep going as he ages. I think he's highlighted Jeff Browning, Megan Canfield, and even Jared Campbell, who's, finished Barkley for the third time at age 44. I mean, these are people in our sport that continue to reach the podium, and Max as well continues to reach the podium, but he looks up to these people. And I think it's a great kind of gesture for him to write about that.
Yeah. So in my running group, I have lots of friends who are aging, and I'm going to bring a stack of of this issue to hand out to my friends, just to use this as a practical guide to longevity. And it wasn't like you guys just wrote like one or two articles about this. It's chock full of lots of great material that people can apply to their training regimen to be inspired to keep going. Maybe you've dropped out of pursuing an ultra because you just feel like you don't have the time or the energy or the resources to do it. It's right in here. Jason Koop, his article really touched me. I thought he had really great advice. But what I appreciated, he wrote that athletes over 50 want to run for the rest of their lives. The training enriches their health and extends their health span first. Performance comes as a byproduct. From a coaching perspective, this manifests as a shift towards year round and generalized fitness and away from hyper specific training blocks, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, that was a spot on article for this issue in particular, for sure. Yeah.
Well, I think even like younger athletes can probably maybe should listen to some of this advice with like start thinking in decades instead of just thinking in weeks of training.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think it's probably even more important as you age to ensure that you have that year-round look and multi-year look at your health and fitness, and that you're not trying to cram it all into a short-term phase. But yeah, it does strike me. I mean, he does go into, you know, it's amazing. Just so many articles in this issue about the amazing performances of athletes of all ages, and like Ludovic at Hard Rock, or I think Jeff Browning on the Colorado Trail and at Cocodona. And there's also a great article about Becky Bates, who is in her 60s and is, placing in the top 10 at races like Javelina 100K and doing well at High Lonesome, where she's the only one in her 60s and everyone else is 40s and below.
She has two top 10 finishes at freaking Hard Rock. I mean, talk about inspiration.
Yeah. No doubt about that.
That's
For
a great
sure.
article by the profound Ellie Greenwood, who really
Yes.
knows her stuff.
I think you'll be seeing more about Becky in future issues as well. For sure. I think
Yeah,
she's kind of alerted everybody to her talents for sure.
amazing. What I
Yeah.
also appreciated was the what you need to do for your body to help maintain it, which is so important and critical, especially as we age.
Yeah, definitely. Shall we talk about the races featured in this issue?
I'm all
Yeah.
about it. We just mentioned it.
Cover.
High Lonesome in there. Ooh-wee.
So the cover is High Lonesome, and it's the winner Hickory. I'm sorry, Hickory McKendry Hickory of yeah, she won the High Lonesome this year, and I was going to mention it because right after the issue cover came out, unfortunately, she and her family experienced their house burned down in Steamboat Springs. So I want to make sure that we put these in the notes for this podcast, but I think that there's a GoFundMe set up for them. So, but it's awesome cover by Jordan Chappell, or Chapel. I can't pronounce your name, Jordan. I'm sorry. Um, and then we've got the Headlands 50K, which is an old school race, which happened in Marin County.
Ooh.
That was an awesome race and a good turnout for that one. We've got the Shawnee Hills Trail races, which includes a 100-miler, 100K, and a 50K, and those are in Ozark, Illinois.
Yeah, let's not forget the race that happens in my backyard here, the Tahoe Rim Trail.
Yes.
Come for the articles, stay for the photos, my friends.
Great photos for sure by Jacob Banta. Yeah. Amazing photos around the trail.
So what
Anything
else should we
else?
know in this issue?
Oh, there's so much,
Well,
Scotty.
as far as gear review in this issue, we went into we kind of turned the tables a little bit, talking about the pacers and the
Right.
crews, and what, that's often overlooked, I think. What gear can make you a successful pacer? Like, we all run the races, but what are those things that can make pacing and crewing a little bit easier?
Yeah, definitely. No, we tried to think ahead and give some good ideas to those who want to go out and maybe do their first pacing gig or their first crewing gig, and they don't really know exactly what to arm themselves with when they're out there for so long. So,
Well, I have
yeah,
to say that I really love seeing all the stuff you highlighted here for the gear for crew. I'll just put out there into these, into the stratosphere that the crewing chair, the all important crewing chair, makes such a great gift as just a thank you to your crew. But this chair in here is like, I want it so bad. The
Top of the line.
neon,
Yep.
yeah, elite. Oh my gosh. Ooh wee, that is such a cool looking thing.
Yeah, definitely. And it can be fun too. So we've put in some fun things in there as well. Um, I do want to give a shout out to Erica Hoagland's article, Longevity and Ultra Running. She also highlights some really amazing people. But this is also her last I am an ultra runner column. So she's done such a great job for us over the past several years, just highlighting amazing people in the sport. And she knocked it out of the park for this one as well.
Yeah,
So
Erica, thank you so much for all you've poured into this magazine. We all appreciate you so much.
definitely, definitely.
Well,
All right.
since I have you both, if we have nothing else to say about the magazine, I have to ask, we're just a few weeks out from Javelina 100, one of Jamil's premier races that so many people have come and done in years past, and what so many people look forward to doing. Jamil, how are things shaping up for this year?
Yeah, I mean, right now the team is in full on prep mode, so we're starting to get pallets of stuff arriving here at the offices and getting everything in order.
What can people look forward to this year?
You know, I think there's going to be some new entertainment this year. Hoka has been so great as a partner for this event, and Jubilee is always reinventing the event. So we're really looking forward to what she has in store. I won't speak about it yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, you'll be able to watch the event live again. We'll be live streaming the the whole event. So watch the race for the golden tickets to Western States, and then stick around to see, your family and friends finish their race all through the night and into the next day.
Yeah, and keep an eye out for your favorite costumes and just how creative people can be with that. Is something we all look forward to, especially in this magazine, of having those photos to kind of pour over and just see what people do. You're all so creative and make it so much fun. I mean, really, it's you guys who just have just perpetuated this awesome event that so many of us look forward to year and year and again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Amy Clark, anything that we should know?
We're coming up to towards the end of the year in at least in the magazine world. So we're focusing right now, including Javelina, the final results of the year in preparation for UROY Ultra Runner of the Year. And yeah, just gift guide preparation. We've got a lot kind of in the works right now for the last issue and to kind of end the year strong. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this magazine. I mean, one, to the runners and all their support, and then the contributors, the writers, the photographers out there, and for really listening to our readers and acknowledging them and taking their feedback and putting it into just a magazine that's been well curated, in my opinion. I know that I'll be hanging on to this one for a long time, especially as I age, just to remind myself that you can do it. Like, you can get out there and achieve great goals. Just because you age doesn't mean you can't stop and just enjoy just, the beauty and the camaraderie of this community that we all love so much. So thank you guys for everything you do.
Very well said, Scotty. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for being awesome, and it's great to see your face.
Of course, you guys too. You guys look awesome. Hope you're enjoying your time in Phoenix, Amy.
Yeah,
And Jamil, great seeing you as always, and look forward to seeing you guys in person sometime soon, I hope.
Thanks so much.
sounds good, Scotty. Thank you. Good to see you.
Anytime.